It says by the fire. This is wow. I'm kind of fucking up there because I know what this is gonna lead into, but this is pretty much my final album review in this place. Because at some point, when you see the next album review, it's gonna be a much different room in a different location. So from here on out, see you all then. Later, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel here at YouTube. And welcome to the new place. Yeah, wow. But I can't just take time and introduce you to at least to the new room and everything. I have to, of course, do a album review, and today is a Friday review, and today's Friday review, to repeat myself again there, is the Wretched Masquerade, the first full-length album from, of course, my friend Jim Harris's original band, Emissary, which was released on March 25th of this year, though right now it has been independently released digitally, but I think at some point it is going to get a physical release. I think maybe sometime this month, I believe. So, but it is the follow-up to last year's tour EP, which was this right here, the Summer Tour EP, which was released, I think, August 5th of last year. But right now, this is their first full-length album. And since my friend Jim Harris, at least a month ago, had sent me a promo copy to listen to and, of course, review. But at the time, I had to tell him that since I was packing up the move back down here in Fresno, I couldn't get around to really give it a proper listen and a full, review and everything. But I did tell him that I was going to make this at least review maybe sometime this month. But I then figured it'd be a better idea to make this the first album review here in the new place. So, without further ado, let me get into my thoughts on the Wretched Masquerade from Emissary. Okay, so before I really get into any of my overall thoughts on the new album from Emissary, I have to do a track listing run now so I can tell you folks where the songs are on this album, how many songs were on this album, and what is the time length for this album. Since we have at least about 8 songs, at least that is for the promo copy here. Because the promo copy that was given only has the 8 original songs for this one. That at least are new recordings. I mean, I'll get into at least some of the songs that were originally released on the Summer Tour EP. But still, I was just only given the 8 new versions and everything, that is at least the Wretched Masquerade. I wasn't given the entire thing because of if you were to get this, I think maybe physically or maybe digitally, if you purchase this, it would have at least 23 songs. So it would have mostly a lot of the demo tracks and some live versions and whatnot. But here I'm just focusing on the new studio recordings and everything. So that's about it. So not just everything, but just the new studio with songs. And with these 8 songs, it at least clocks in at or at least the length of 31 minutes and 26 seconds. So these 8 songs are beginning with The Silent Treatment, Chemical Hatred, Hypochondriac, In Solitude, Ruler of Defiance, Out of Reach, Crash and Burn, and then finally ending with Pine Box, parentheses, The Art of War. So there's your 8 songs. So, as far as when it comes to at least the 8 songs here, there's at least 3 of the songs here that were previously released on the Summer Tour EP from last year. Those were, of course, The Silent Treatment, Crash and Burn, and Ruler of Defiance. So technically you get at least 5 new songs for this one, and I think they're all were recorded, I think, last year anyways, but still, these were all the songs for the album here. And again, I've already given my thoughts anyways on the 3 songs that were originally released on last year's Summer Tour EP, so I don't really have to comment too much on those, but I will comment at least on the 5 original ones, and they're all very good. That's all I'm probably going to have to say, really, and you probably need to know more about that, is that they're all very good to begin with. I mean, I did Chemical Hatred. This one definitely does have a bit more of a mid-paced, kind of thrashy kind of feel to it. Almost something you would expect from some of the more classic Bay Area kind of bands from back in the heyday of thrash metal. But at least you get some more melodic kind of songs, like, again, like Hypochondriac, and Solitude, and I guess even Pine Box kind of falls in that, even though that one's actually one of the more mid-paced songs, actually one of the more heavier ones, and probably one of my personal favorite ones, along with maybe like Hypochondriac and In Solitude. I think these two definitely, I mean, they all definitely seem to really start with a more very clean, very melodic kind of guitar riff and everything, but as it goes into the more the more electrified parts of it, it does get there. These are definitely one of the more slightly more melodic but still heavy songs in their own right, but they have a very nice hook to them, very catchy and very memorable. And that's all I gotta really say about these. They're very memorable songs, including, of course, like Pine Box and even like Chemical Hatred. They all have at least a hook to them. I mean, almost most of these songs on this album have a nice hook to them. So they really got that down very good. Again, this is very much classic U.S. metal in the very good best of form. So really, they all sound very great. I think the one band that comes to mind a lot for me when it comes to this would be the band Recon, if you're very familiar with that band. That's what they tend to remind me a little bit, or maybe some of the more slightly melodic or heavier, or more not really thrashy stuff from Deliverance. That kind of stuff. I know I just compared them to some more Christian metal bands, but just musically, they remind me more like that in terms of the riffing and everything, but not so much lyrical-wise. But still, that's what I tend to get from them. But they're all very good songs to begin with. These are very well constructed. They all have a nice pace to them. They're all just very well put together, and that's all I have to really say about that. As far as the mixing and the mastering on here, everything sounds great. Even if this wasn't produced by a more well-renowned producer, someone who's a more experienced, these still have a very nice, proper mastering to them. They sound very great, very crisp at times, and I think they're very professional sounding. I mean, even if these were times were very self-produced, they sound really good for of course, self-produced stuff. Of course, nowadays, in the wake still of like Pro Tools and WavePad or Audacity and just more digital recording, you can get at least a really, depending on the program that you're using, you can produce stuff to sound great even from your bedroom. So that's the one, I think, what is considered a nice luxury without having to pay for a studio. But these might have been recorded in a studio, but I think these were mostly recorded in at least the bedroom, but at least with proper equipment and everything. So there we go. But everything sounds great on here. Jim Harris sounds fantastic, of course, like always. So there's really nothing there I can really say anything else other than these are all really good songs to begin with. It's a very solid, even if it's short. Again, it's 31 minutes to 26 seconds, so it's not a really long album, but it's still very fun to listen to. I think it's actually also turning into one of my other favorite releases of the year. It's just, I definitely can see myself coming back to it more and more and more, just because for the length that it is and how good I feel that this album is. I actually will have the luxury of listening to this more and more times because it is very short, but at the same time, it does leave me wanting more. It is a very good release nonetheless, and I think it's a very swell job from, of course, Jim Harris and Tim Dolly, or Tim Dolan, I should pronounce better. So, again, from these guys, I think they did a really good job. So, that's all I could say other than highlights here. Again, Hypochondriac and Solitude, Pine Box, parentheses, The Art of War, and Chemical Hatred are probably my absolute favorite. Of at least the songs that weren't on the EP originally. But still, even the EP songs are very good to begin with. And I've said that already in my review for the Summer Tour EP. So I'm just going to end it right there. So there it is, folks. There's my overall honest thoughts on the Wretched Masquerade from Emissary. And my rating, since I have it written down right here, is a 9.92 out of 10. Again, I think what kind of keeps it at that length, at least that rating, is because of the fact that it is 31 minutes. But that's more of a nitpick. But still, this is a very well put together album, and I think this really does kind of at least give the listener more of an idea of probably of what could come with the follow-up album. And I think I am really much looking forward to a follow-up album because they definitely show that they are a really good band to begin with, and I really like their writing style. I think they are very good, and they and just very well written stuff. So I just gotta say that. So thank you, Jim Harris, of course, for sending me the promo copy for the album here, and of course, good job on this album in general. I think it's a really good album. So there it is, folks. If you want to check out the album, hopefully at some point this will get put on the Bandcamp page, but I will leave you a link to, of course, their Bandcamp page anyways, to, of course, to check out their previous CP, which is this right here. So, again, if it ends up on the New Wave or Traditional Heavy Metal albums, full albums channel here on YouTube, check that album there. But when it gets physically released, I'll let you know probably as part of a community post and everything. So, there it is. Hope all of you enjoyed. This is Henry Thrash saying I'm out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone. I definitely recommend the Wretched Masquerade. So, there we go.